Now, after making a video where I pointed out that the mainstream media was fat shaming Keanu Reeves one day, even though I don't think even a doctor would classify him as obese, but the other day they were also promoting and glorifying Lizzo's life choices and her body positivity. So I found that to be a little bit hypocritical. Not a lot, heaven forbid. I mean, I would never question the wisdom of the authoritative sources at the mainstream media, but still, to me, it seemed a little bit hypocritical. So after making that video, I got the message from a friend of mine, another YouTuber by the name of Aristocratic Utensil, and he showed me this website, which I believe Aiden Paladin showed to him to begin with. And this website, Meyer, is displaying women lingerie and slipwear, and also men's underwear. And it doesn't take a lot in order to notice a significant difference between these two categories. When you look at the women, you notice a lot of diversity. You notice different body types, different age brackets. You notice cellulitis. I would say that these women, these models, actually, they look like the girl next door, but I happen to have a very ushkushy neighbor, so I can't make that comparison. But you get where they're coming from, right? Meanwhile, when you look at the men, they, how does the left call them? Hypersexualized, yes, hypersexualized, with unrealistic expectations, right? So women who read these magazines, according to left-leaning intellectuals, will receive unrealistic expectations from what men should look like. All of them are buffed, muscular, packing, right? Like Greek statues. And I noticed that this is not just within commercials, but it's happening within video games. Perfect example is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is a game that features hyper-violence. I mean, you can perform decapitations, dismemberments, all sorts of over-the-top violence. However, they were very concerned about misogyny, right? Like when you perform that violence on the female characters, you don't want to be misogynistic while doing it. So because of that, they decided to make the women more average, like the ones that you see here, while the men remain at peak human conditioning. So I find this to be very interesting because there are a lot of people on Twitter. All of them seem to be left-leaning, but there are a couple of right-wingers that I'll address in a bit. But the overwhelming amount of them seem to have like various flags in their bio and communist paraphernalia in their intro messages. And if you go on Twitter and you say, I would like to see beautiful female characters represented again, whether you want that to happen in articles like this, whether you want it in video games or you want it in comic books, doesn't matter. The argument is always going to be the same. They will say that you are a pornography-obsessed individual. You are a Kumar. Right, so if you want the women in women's lingerie to look like the same way that the men look, you want them to have peak human conditioning, you need to go watch porn somewhere else because there's something inherently wrong with you. This is their argument, right? So, in the age of OnlyFans, in the age of Netflix adaptations, in the age of cooties, and in the age of Drag Kid Story Hour, they are very worried about the influence of pornography in art, I guess, right? So they have to gatekeep. They have to make sure that women look like this, because otherwise individuals like myself, which according to them are obsessed with pornography, would get our kicks, right? So they are the gatekeepers of morality. What is going on is simply a demoralization of young men. That's what is going on here, right? Like, if you didn't know, call it what it is. They want young men to think that there is something inherently wrong with them. They want young men to believe that they do not fit in society, because any man who is over the age of 18 is going to be attracted, like as long as he is straight, right? He's going to be attracted into the, as the left puts it, traditional beauty standards. There is no such thing as traditional beauty standards. There are beauty standards that men are hardwired to be attracted towards. A woman that has a healthy body, a woman that works out, a woman that is young is going to be more attractive than a woman that is not. It's simple as. Now, they are using their ideology in order to try to change this and in order to try to make men think that they are in the wrong, that you somehow are a problem, and because you would prefer to see anime girls, you are not fitting in society. And they also want to make other men think, usually like the soy boy, like the internet likes to call them, right? Like weak men that do not like to create their opinions and stand by them and are more likely to go what the crowd tells them to say. Those men, they need to feel good about themselves when they tell other men that they're in the wrong, right? So like it creates this I guess division within the demographic, where you have like one group of men that are saying like, what is this? Like why can't we have what we used to have? And then you have the other type of men that are, you Kubar, and they get to feel good by doing that, right? Like that's why they go on Twitter and they're doing this shit. What I find fascinating is a third group. And the third group is the right-wingers. Not all, but like some outliers, especially the new generation. They believe that this is a good thing, right? Like when you start making front with people that have communist paraphernalia in their bio, you should ask yourself a question, but whatever, right? So these people, they're legitimately, like passionate into best things. Like they like sports, they like whatever, they like real women, they like Jesus and family. But they also go out of their way in order to shame people who like anime. Like they will go on Twitter and they will shame men who like Uzaki-chan. Some would even try to compare anime, like all anime is lolly and therefore all anime is CP, like that. I've seen them do it. Like I can give you a list of names and you can look at their political background. Like I'm not making this shit up. Like this demographic exists. They believe, I guess, that by removing anime, by making a stigma to watch anime, people are just going to go outside, touch grass, and worship Jesus. The reality is that without anime, people would watch Netflix, they would watch Disney, they would watch this. Why do you think the left is livid about anime? They're livid about anime, number one, because it's popular. They're not livid about Bollywood, because Bollywood also has beautiful actresses represented, but no one watches it in the West. So because of that, they don't give a fuck. They care about anime because it's popular. They care about anime because it's competing with their art, with their depictions, with their representations. They do not want competitions because they cannot handle competition. The core ideology of socialism is to remove competition and give monopoly to the state. So they want anime to start censoring. They want anime to start listening to the localizers and censor in-house. They want anime to realize that it's a stigma to not do what the West tells them. And they will show you. It's like, look, the West thinks that all anime is CP. You need to fix this. How do you fix this? Well, hire some consultants, because now they have their foot in the door. Now that censorship is allowed, they will start to advocate for more. So this is what's happening. This is why, like, Capcom has ethics department, and they're nerfing Tifa's breasts and whatnot in other companies. Square Enix. The reason they're doing this is because of public pressure. And I just am baffled when I see right-wingers carrying water for the commies. It's like making a front. Like, because they're useful idiots. Like, I understand why the commies are doing it. Like, the goal that they set up coincides with the actions that they're taking. But when I look at the right-wingers, like, they think that people will start worshipping Jesus if they go outside and stop watching anime. That's not gonna happen. But anyway, right, this is why you get to see this, is to demoralize young men, right? So if you're a young man and you like pretty ladies, you like wholesome anime girls and whatever, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? Like, it's perfectly healthy, it's perfectly normal, it's perfectly fine. Every person in the world requires entertainment. Before anime, people watched cartoons. It was Cartoon Network, it was good. Before Cartoon Network, people read books. Before books, people went to the theater. They watched cabarets and other shit. Okay? It's like perfectly normal for adults to consume art. There's nothing wrong with you. So if you're a young man, or if you know a young man that is being demoralized because of modern culture, tell them that it's fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Their preferences are perfectly acceptable, and they should stop being ashamed of their preferences. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.